Howdy friends, welcome back. I hope that yesterday you were able to get your carousel started. If you didn't, that's okay. You can hop in where we are now because today we're going to be working on some animals for our zoological park. And we are going to start with an elephant. They have Asian elephants at the Houston Zoo, and I was watching them give those elephants food and a bath the other day on their Facebook page at the Houston Zoo, and that's the only place that you can see some of the content, like when they do daily things live. You can also go and watch their animal cam on their website at the Houston Zoo. So I was observing the Asian elephants. Of course, I didn't make mine elephant colored. I made mine pink because I think that's more interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the shapes. I've got some shapes on here, so it's just going to help me stay on task. And this is the top of my paper, okay? Because I'm drawing upside down so that you can see what I'm doing better. We're gonna start like we always do with shapes, all right? So the shape of the body of the elephant is kind of a fat oval. It's not a circle, it's not an oval, it's like kind of a stretched out fat circle. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna draw the shape of the head. I would love it if you were working with a pencil. Sorry that I didn't say that before, because then you can erase these lines that overlap. I'm working with a Sharpie so that you can see what I am doing. All right, and anytime that you need to stop and pause so that you can catch up or to change supplies or whatever you're doing, go ahead and feel free to do that. So the next shape I'm going to use is a rectangle, and that's for our legs, okay? Simple rectangular shapes. I'm not going to put the top on it because I don't need the top. That's just an extra line that I don't need. Okay, and then I'm going to add this one. All right, so far we've had circles, slash ovals, and rectangles. Now how about an almost triangle? It's not quite. Same thing over here. Wow, that's it. That's all the shapes we need. So once we go from shape, the next step that we take when we're drawing is contour, okay? First is shape, second is contour. And the reason we do that is because the shape holds the space. It saves that space for us to come back and add the real outline. So here's my cute little elephant that I'm drawing. So you can see where I need to change some things. Like I need to change the shape of the legs. I'm drawing in my Sharpie, so I'm just going to kind of draw darker. I'm going to show where it connects. All right, and then this part kind of comes in a little bit, and then I want to make sure that I always have the back end of this leg where it looks like it connects to him. It doesn't look like it's like, you don't want legs to look like that. It's like a popsicle or a lollipop. That's not right. All right, and then the back leg here, it's up a little bit higher because it's further back, okay? And there's not much to change there. You could curve that just a little bit. That'll make it interesting. Okay, now let's do this front leg here. We're gonna show where it's connected. It comes in and out just a little bit. This is the contour line, okay? It's the actual outline of our drawing. And his leg is not like perfectly straight like this, so I'm going to make it just dip in just a little bit right here. All right, we could even make these a little more rounded on the bottom so they don't look like they're flat because they're cylinders, right? Okay, so then this leg is the last one. I'm going to make it come out and in just a little bit. I am not a biologist or a zoologist or anything else that has to do with really knowing about animals. I just like to draw animals, and mine are not going to be exactly the way they're supposed to be. But I'm being inspired by what I see, okay? And as an artist, I can also take what we call artistic license to do what I want. All right. So now let's go ahead and just work our way over to the trunk. That trunk would not be that shape, right? That's the shapes that's holding the space for our contour line. So I'm gonna make it come in just a little bit here and then out, and then I like his trunk bent over like this, like he's about to maybe pick something up and put it in his mouth. And then I'm gonna make it come back up. And I'm gonna make his mouth open right there. See that? Okay, now he has this little like bump right here because that's where his other eye is. And then their heads are not perfectly round. If you enjoy elephants, you enjoy animals, and you enjoy drawing animals, look them up and look at them so you can really get a good idea of how they really look. I know that they have kind of this bump right here on their back. But like I said, you should look and do some research on your own too. I'm just giving us kind of a stylized view of what an elephant looks like. So now I'm going to change his ear just a little bit. I'm going to make it come up like that. And then it's not going to be this hard pointed ear because that's not the way they look. All right, so now I have all of my contour, okay? We started with shape to save the space. We went to contour, which is the actual outline. Oh, I think that this part right here comes up a little bit higher. I'm gonna thin him out a little bit. He's a pretty chunky little elephant. I think this looks more like a little calf, a little elephant calf. So I did my shape, contour, and now we're gonna do details like his eye. I see where his eye is. It's like right here. All right, he needs a tail. For the elephant parade, you know, when they hold tails. And I'm gonna add some texture lines. That's a detail that's good, where he looks like he's got some little wrinkles, maybe around his knees. Even though he's young, he's still gonna have some wrinkles. Maybe some little wrinkles in his ears. All right. I think it'd be fun to put a bird on his back. How about some little hairs? He's got a little tiny bit of a eyebrow there. All right, so I'm gonna make it look like his mouth is open. There we go. So there's an elephant. Pretty easy, right? We started with a couple circles, a couple rectangles, and a couple triangles. I'm pretty pleased with that. Awesome. So the next thing that you would do with this elephant is you would go ahead and color it. You can color it any color you want. Okay, it's your elephant. You can have a green elephant. You can color it the color of an Asian elephant. You can look it up, have somebody help you get on the internet and look it up and see what color you want your elephant to be. Or you can just make it whatever color you want. All right, so I'm gonna move on to our next animal. And our next animal is, let's see, put my stuff down here. A Galapagos tortoise, because he's super cool. I've got a thing for tortoises and turtles and all things with shells, I guess. So here we go. Here is our tortoise. And you're drawing with a pencil, I'm drawing with a Sharpie. You can always go back when you're done and add that outline so that you get a really nice outline on your drawings, or you don't have to. But I continue to draw in Sharpie so you can see what I'm doing. So this time, and like I said, I have some little cheat lines on here for me so I can do this quickly with you. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start with another one of these kind of more of a fat oval. It's not a perfect circle, but it's not an oval like this, right? So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some partial squares or rectangles for my legs. And then I'm gonna add a circle for the head, and this curved line is gonna be for my neck. These Galapagos turtles have really long necks. They're crazy looking. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is, there's another one there, is I'm gonna show you how to add the contour. Remember, we start with shape and we move to contour. So our contour, we want to make sure that we look like the shell, we make it look like the shell is on top. So I'm gonna come in here and see where I need to put this part of the shell here. Okay, this line, and then there's this other line. And this part right here is underneath him. All right. Remember, you can look at the turtles online and make yours the way you want it. I'm just showing you how to do some simple things here, some simple turtles. So, not turtle, tortoise, sorry. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start adding more of our contour. And I'm gonna add this leg here. You can see how it kind of turns a little bit. And then if you want to make it look like it has toes, you can do it like this. And we can add claws to those toes. This leg is in the background, so I'm not going to add many details to it, but maybe you can see a toe from the side here. And then we have this one, and I'm going to put some toes, and then I'm changing the shape of this a little bit so he's not so pointed here. And I'm going to add some toes. Do you see how I stop like this? And then we can add claws or nails. I don't know what they're really called. All right. Next thing we need to do is we need to show this cool shell. I'm going to make it where we can see that the shell comes out like this over the edge of his neck. And then we can put these cool, and these are more of our details. We're going to add details now because we've got all the contour in. We're going to add details. We're going to add the shape of these spaces. And if you divide this in half, it works pretty well. And then I'm going to go 1, 2. 1, 2. Because when I was looking at these online, I noticed that it was more likely to have 4 sections down here and then 2 at the top, and then the shell kind of dips in just a little bit, okay? And then there's sections down here. You can even make it the tiniest bit scalloped. And then the shell goes underneath the belly because it protects the little soft parts. And this part comes out right here. This little flap. So do you see where I have it here? This little flap. That's where his head comes out. His neck comes out of that space right there. So this protects the base of his neck. And so what happens, he can go inside there, right? He can pull his body in. So we need to change this to add the contour of his face. It's not quite so round. Mine's super happy. I think I'm going to give him kind of where he looks like he's smiling. All right, so we have the shape and we have the contour, the details. We've got the details right here on the shell. We can add more details by adding texture. If we want to, we can add some texture on his skin of his legs. He has some, it's kind of bumpy. Like I said, use reference material, look it up. That's how you learn. And he has this kind of loose skin. He looks like an old turtle. And then also there's some really cool designs on their shells. So you'll need to look at that. You can also decide how you want yours to look. Okay, it doesn't have to look anything like what you see a Galapagos turtle looks like. Maybe yours is not a Galapagos turtle. So you get to decide what that is. I'm just adding some texture here. Okay, so once you get your it's not a turtle, your tortoise, and your elephant drawn, then you start to color. And I think that this tortoise is going to be purple. It's not a purple turtle, it's a purple tortoise. And it's going to be a lot more fun if I don't just use one color of purple or violet, but multiple colors, because I have that, okay? I have it here. If you don't have it at your house, then you can just switch colors to a different color. Blue and purple on the same color family, so those look really good together. Or you could go complementary colors like blue and orange. That looks really good too. So I'm just going to continue working and coloring my two animals here. And then these two animals eventually are going to go onto my carousel. And we're also going to use them on our zoological park map. Okay, so we're going to make our very own maps, and then those maps are going to turn into fun games, and that's going to be where our awesome play comes in. Okay, so I'm going to continue coloring this. When you finish coloring it, you're going to want to cut them out, okay? And then if you have your carousel on something like this that's 3 dimensions, you could drop everything in there and you can keep it nice and safe until we come back. So in the end, you're going to want to have 2 animals that are cut out and ready to go. And then you're going to want to have your carousel from last episode colored, cut out, ready to go, okay? If you didn't see the carousel, just look back. It was yesterday, all right? So continue to be creative, and until I see you next time, be kind. And if you are so inclined, whoever's in charge at home, to leave a tip on my Venmo, I would really appreciate it to help support this program so we can keep coming to you. Thanks. Bye.